excited to be here at the University of Edinburgh here in Scotland.
Except when the whistle has blown and players are standing. Most often you'll see it here after a goal. Players enter and leave the field in a specific area. And also a team may substitute on what's called the fly. So as the ball is moving down the field, a player may sprint to the sideline, cross over the substitution area, and then sprint. A new player may enter the field. It's rather unique, unlike a game like soccer or footy, where the whole game stops, player coming off jogs off. And that's a great self-draw number 4. The ability to flick the ball and get it yourself is a real hidden talent, something that a lot of players are becoming specialists at. So number 4 is looking for a pass, driving to her right. Player behind the crease coming out. Again, a unique piece of this game is that you may use the space behind the goal for players, and the ball may go behind. The only other sport that I know of that has that characteristic is ice hockey. And Japan is also doing a great job of challenging, realizing they don't have a shot, and returning back. All right, nice save by the Korean goalie, number 1. You see the goalie staying down in her stance, paying attention, ready to explode. And that was a great shot over the goalie's head, bring our school to...
Goal for Japan, scored by number 3, Kaoru Hirano.
And that brings our score to 11-2, 15 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the first half. There's a rule in this game that once a team is ahead by 12 or more, the clock will continue to run. We're not quite at that point, but that will help speed the game up when a team is in a dominant position. And now, a draw again between 22 for Republic of Korea and number 4 for Japan. Official sets the ball between the backs of the sticks. And another self-draw to 4. She is amazing with that skill. And now they've come back down. They're moving the ball around the field. It's a well-coached Japan squad, knowing what their offense is. I believe 7 was trying to set a screen. However, her teammate didn't recognize it. Oh, a player was left open in front. So that was number 9 scoring her goal from number 16. Unfortunately, I believe Korea left a player open, number 9 in front of goal.
Goal for Japan, scored by number 9, Yurei Tamaki, assist number 16, Saki Sekiguchi.
Brings our score to 12-2, 15 minutes remaining in the game. So to explain to you the draw, the 2 players are allowed in the center circle. They must stand with a foot on the center line. They can stand facing either their goal or with their back to the goal. And they can have either their left or right hands on top. So you will see different combinations of players and positions. Uli has dropped the ball between. And that ball was heading to toward her teammate. We have a ground ball struggle. And we're waiting to see if we have a foul or do we have a player out of bounds. She was out of bounds, so possession will. In the game of lacrosse, possession of the ball is last touch. Other team gets the ball, so it's a possession based. However, there is a little bit of difference. When a shot is taken and the ball goes out of bounds, it is closest to the ball as it travels out of bounds that is determines who has possession. Japan's done a great job going around to the backside. Again, I'm seeing a very high level of strategy in the players, all understanding what and where they want the ball to move to successfully get down the field. Very disciplined approach. And 16 is another scoring machine today. She's got herself another goal. She's been assisting in scoring frequently. Very nice move around the crease. You'll notice that after every goal, the player who scores drops the stick, and as that is done so the officials may test the stick to be sure it has remained legal. A stick is tested before the game to check the depth of the pocket, and particularly in rainy weather, the leather thongs or nylons will stretch a bit. So in order to be sure that goals are scored with legal sticks, then they actually will, as I say, drop the stick, and then as a result, they will put the ball in the stick to test. And that's a redraw. The ball has to go up higher over their head. So if the official can't determine that someone has drawn illegally, they'll set the ball back between the... So we're resetting the draw. In this case, both players are drawing left-handed. And 23 comes up with possession. That was a check over the shoulder. And the Republic of Korea maintains possession of the ball. Now she needs to get out of trouble. She's trying to go against 2 and 3 players who legally they stick check the ball away. And it's a turnover. You saw 13 there running with the ball. You do not have to move the ball on the stick. You can run faster with one hand. That's fine. 13 took a shot and missed. And you'll see that the Japanese player was closer to the line when the ball passed. So they will get possession of the ball. They'll bring it in to the field of play. And upon the whistles of the official, play resumes. So there's an example of a shot going wide. If that had been determined it was a pass, then they would not have gained possession. It would have been a turnover. Japan looking. Moving the ball around the outside. The Republic of Korea is waiting on the 8-meter arc. Sorry, again, that's in my international mistake. I do coach in the United States, a high school team, and our rules are not that much different, but our field markings are different. So in this case, I call it an 8-meter. It's actually the same measurement within 2 or 3 inches, but the international rule book actually chooses to measure from the goal line out instead of the edge of the crease out. So that makes it an 11-meter, and they call it the 11-meter marking area. I will occasionally slip and call it the 8-meter arc. Oh, great take by number 16. That was a superb catch and shot. Right at the very tip of her stick, that ball was fed. And we'll get the announcement of the player and the assist.
Goal for Japan, scored by number 16, Saki Sekiguchi, assist to number 17, Hyokoku Wajima.
Yeah, those two have combined now for several goals. They seem to find each other and feed each other on a perfect. We now have a goalie change for the Republic of South Korea. Number 1 goalkeeper is out, and number 32 goalkeeper is in. That's Ji-Yeon Lee has replaced number 1. So we'll see how she does. I would say that many of these shots would have been extremely challenging for any goalkeeper to save. Japan is shooting extremely well and accurately. And we have another example there of a redraw. Ball did not go above the heads of the players. That one got up high enough, and now also Republic of Korea has a new drawer, number 18. Let's see whose possession here. I think 7 actually got an elbow, not a stick, to the head. You'll notice some players are wearing eye protective wear called a goggle, and in the rule book for the US, it is absolutely determined that it has to be worn by all players. Other countries have chosen to adopt that standard as well. So it really is up to the country and or the individual. The rules allow a player to wear the protection, but it is not mandatory, except in now the English Lacrosse Association has made the requirement. That's a great save by our goalkeeper that's just come into the game here. And she clears wide to her player. And let's see Korea on its transition. See if they can get the ball passed to somebody rather than trying to run it. When they run it, they're getting attacked by the team from Japan, and that's where our turnovers occur. We need to try to get Korea spread out on the field so that they can pass the ball up the field. So we had a Japan foul for a dangerous check. She's throwing across to her teammate, number 8. Good, she's got the ball, but again, she's being pursued by 2. And the official has recognized another foul. It's the aggressive pursuit of Japan there. They will need to back off 4 meters from the, and there's a pass across the field. That's what the Republic of Korea needs to stress at halftime, is using the space, because we know the ball moves faster than the people that can run. So spread the game out. And a shot taken there by 23, unsuccessful, a save for the goalkeeper. Looking to feed wide to her teammate. Actually, there were 2 there. So they're spreading themselves. If you look right now, Japan has really done a great job of spreading out and putting players on the sideline and passing to the next player down the field. 17 now with the ball. She's challenging the goal, looking to feed, but unfortunately a little late there for her teammate. You'll notice some players have their right hand at the top of the stick and some their left. Ideally, players are equally skilled on both sides of their body. And certainly when you're a beginner, we encourage them to play with both hands. But you'll find that most players will pick one hand and develop that. And then to start working on the second hand. But being two-handed is ideal because in defense, you try to force a player in one direction, and in this case, usually to their weaker hand. That was a goal, lone goal by number 3, running the ball in. We have 7 minutes.
Goal for Japan, scored by number 3, Kaoru Hirano.
And that will be the clock stopping at 7 minutes. The Republic of South Korea their coaches have chosen to take a timeout, so they have a chance to talk to their teammates. They'll allow them to get water. And it's hard to keep a team in a positive frame when they're losing a game, 15-2, but I think they need to discuss a little bit about their team strategy on getting the ball down the field successfully. And if they can get it down and keep it behind their cage for a little bit and give their defense a little rest. I think the Korean players are doing what we call ball watching, and they need to be more concerned about guarding and following their players. Most teams will play a traditional man-to-man defense where one player is assigned to another player. However, some of the teams you'll see later in the day have a little bit more advanced type defense in which they will take a defender from the farthest side of the pitch to go double team the ball. Combinations of defenses that have been seen in games similar as in field hockey or soccer, where you're putting pressure on the ball, making it difficult for the player with the ball to find the open player when the open player is all the way across the field. Very challenging to get the ball passed to there. So they need a lot of support and help by their teammates. So that's been the sort of biggest issue with Republic of Korea to this point, is they don't have players in position moving and filling space in support of the ball. And as a result, Japan has had a chance to form double teams and either, in many cases, check the ball out of the stick, changing the possession, or sometimes, unfortunately, creating a foul. But we have to keep pursuing that Korea will improve and expand and get a stronger sense of team relationship and movement in getting the ball down the field. So now we're back with 6 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the first half with a score of 15-2. Once this clock starts, it will continue to run. And a foul is called. It will be possession of the Republic of Korea. Probably an illegal draw from the positioning of the players. You see Korea's player is again swarmed by 2 and 3 from Japan, and she did escape, but she needs to find her teammates and move the ball. If not, the Japan players will continue. And there's a free player, well seen. He's now down behind the cage, coming around the crease, and she's going to look to do her patented shot. And another shot, and a great save by Japan goalkeeper Chirichiro. And 6 minutes remaining. We have a 15-2 score, and Japan has successfully brought the ball down behind their cage. They'll be looking to set up offensive play. Swing the ball to the top. Swing it around the cage, trying to get the defenders for Republic of Korea. Nice pass and play. Oh, nice feed. A shot hit the post. Excellent passing there. Unfortunately, number 12 just misfired a little. Oh, loose ball inside. Recovered by Japan. Now they're going to settle down, set their offense again. Players on the field are communicating where they want the ball to go, how they want it to run. There's actually a pick on the ball and a reversal of the ball. 3 wove her way through many players, a great series of dodges. Unfortunately, just missed the cage. So Japan is resetting their play. You see how far away they have backed up from the cage. They're putting players in particular positions to run this offense. And we have a pass and a challenge and a pass and a challenge. And I think actually that was an attempted pass. She pulled it back. Oh dear. Number 1 problem for a keeper is clearing accurately. But she came back and made a great save. Rebound is recovered and scored on. Goalkeepers have to, once they work that hard to get the possession of the ball, have to really be cautious to hang on to the ball and not pass it back in a turnover. So we have a score now of 16-2, 3 minutes remaining in the game. Sorry, in the first half. And we see several players from Japan running on, and we'll have 3 players leaving the field. Often teams will substitute their midfields. 3 players that are going from one end to the other. And thank you for the announcement there of our score. So, in the big picture, only 7 players are allowed across the restraining line, plus the defense would have 1 more. That makes the goalkeeper. And that means 4 players must remain behind the restraining line for the space in between the 2 restraining is referred to as the midfield. And there would be 3 players running the whole field from one end to the other. Similar in soccer, a midfielder is expected to be proficient and play attack and play defense. Japan's spreading it out again, trying to restart this play. And finally we get ourselves going. Just about 2 minutes left in this half. 16-2. Oh, an errant pass behind. 14 bounce pass to her teammate who couldn't handle it. And as a result, there'll be a turnover to Republic of Korea. And let's see if they can get the ball down the field to get 1 more shot before halftime. We are in the last 2 minutes, so all whistles are stop clock. Oh, and again we find the Republic of South Korea player surrounded by 2 Japanese players. A foul has occurred, so a major foul. So the player will go behind 4 meters. And there's an attempt to throw. It is picked off by a player from Japan. Japan's back on the attack. She's looking left. Player 17 has done a lot of scoring and assisting as a left-handed player. I have seen her be predominant left hand. Up. Now the ball's coming behind. Remaining 1 minute, 15 seconds. .13 coming in with dodges, looks, shoots, and scores. So should we get our 17th goal of the half? 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining. And we'll have a 17-2 score. Coming back to the draw.
The goal for Japan scored by number 13, Narumi Nukui.
It's 13's credit for her goal. She had the first goal of the game, I believe. Scores her 2nd goal. So our 5 players are in position in the midfield, and as soon as say the whistle blows, players will step over the restraining line looking for loose ball situations. Possession to Korea. The officials again are communicating mostly by their hand signals and also calling a number and a color for their jersey. Foul on Japan. He will say foul on white 13. Go behind. And the signal there was an empty stick check for Japan. Sorry, a held stick check, major foul. Korean player is taking the ball behind. And the Japan player will not pressure her. She will give the ball to player number 23, who has pressure on her. She's going to goal. We have a dodge. That was a foul on Japan player 23. Oh, sorry, 18. Republic of Korea player 23 will get possession of the ball. Official is sorting them out. And on the whistle, she'll look to go to goal. Shot and, oh, hit the post. Saved by the keeper as well. I think it actually hit her stick and then to the post. We are in our last 30 seconds of this half. We'll see if Japan can progress the ball down the field. Japan 13, dominant left-hander, looking to go to goal. Ten seconds remaining in our half. And that will be the horns for halftime. So we'll join you back on the pitch after 10 minutes, and we'll continue to commentary the second half of this game between Republic of Korea and Japan here at the 2015 FIL Rathbones Under-19 World Championships. Enjoy the break.